Hello OCF and happy Fast Friday. I'm really pleased to be back with you for another day of fasting and praying together, even though we'll do that separately. I'm really pleased that we can embark on this day together. Let me be the first to welcome you to May. Never been so happy to see a month disappear into the past, and I know that we all have high expectations of what May bring for us. A lot of us are optimistic that our restrictions are going to release and calm down, and that we're going to be given more freedom. Others are maybe a little more realistic, and some of us are just gearing up for another long month. Wherever you find yourself on that spectrum, today we're going to look at another practice of prayer which seeks to bring rest to our souls. This has been a time of much unrest and many feelings of being unsettled. And so today we're going to practice a type of prayer that really focuses the heart on seeking rest because we are seeking truth. Last week, we spent time practicing breath prayer, which helped us to create these little prayers, sentence-long prayers that we could take with us, breathing in the truth of God's goodness and breathing out the deep desires of our heart as children of God. Today, we're going to practice the prayer of recollection. To recollect means to call to mind, to remember, perhaps something that you have forgotten. To recollect in the spiritual sense means to pay attention to the presence of God in the soul. To pay attention to the presence of God in the soul. It's the act of withdrawing from earthly things and attaching to the things of God or the divine. It feels like this isolation that we've been experiencing has caused us to detach already. We've been given this opportunity of a natural look at what it is to detach because it's been forced upon us. Many of us have already had to detach from the ways in which we normally move in and about the world. We've had to detach from the normal ways in which we often find our identity. So for many of us, we've had to detach from our identity as someone who works in a certain field. We've had to detach from different ways in which we find joy. We've had to detach from being social, from being in the presence of others. All of these and so many other things that we've had to detach from, just having the freedom to go to the beach. These are things that have been thrust upon us and that we've had to already begin to take a look at. If I'm not those things, then who am I? The prayer of recollection helps us take that seed and expand upon it. Because as we consider our identity, we often fall into the trap of identifying ourselves with the things that we do and not who we are. As children of God, we're prone to forget that we are chosen, adopted, forgiven, that God is both with us and within us. And we often find ourselves placing our identity in those secondary things like job, career, hobby, family, intellect, beauty, all of these different things that are not our true identity. So today, as we spend time considering who we truly are, we're going to look at what is it that we need to detach from. How am I seeing myself? How have I viewed myself or my identity that is a false identity? How can I detach myself from that and attach myself to the truth of who I am in Jesus Christ? I love the Psalms, and I am so pleased that we are going to be spending more time in the Psalms as a church family. I so appreciated John Hutchison's overview of what the Psalms can mean to us, all those different emotions that the Psalms tap into. And one of the things that you might start to see as you go through the Psalms is that David and the other psalmists, they practice this idea of recollection. It almost sounds like self-talk, where they are speaking to their own souls. They say things like, "Bless the Lord, O my soul." This idea of remembering to praise God for who he is. God, don't let me forget your goodness. Bless the Lord, O my soul. Or find rest, O my soul, in God alone. Find rest, O my soul. It's the speaking to one's own soul. Find your rest in God alone. Or today we're even going to spend time in Psalm 1 verse in Psalm 117 that says, "Return to your rest, O my soul, for the Lord has dealt bountifully with you," or "The Lord has been good to you." Return to your rest, O my soul, for the Lord has been good to you. The psalmist is giving us a platform for remembering what is true, to recollect what we may have forgotten, that our rest, our peace, our true identity, our self-worth, and our value can only be found in Jesus Christ. If we try to place our hope, our identity, our trust in anything else, whether that be our own natural gifts and abilities, our career, the way we're viewed by other people, those false identities do not satisfy. And as many of us have already experienced during these last 2 months or so, those things are fleeting. But what remains and what is true is that God alone is the place for us to find our rest. So today, as you practice this prayer of recollection, I pray that your self-talk, your recollecting, will be a place to begin to feel more at peace, more at ease with whatever happens during this month of May. May God bless you and keep you. May you be well, and I will see you again next week. Bye-bye.